Hey everybody, welcome to the BTC Sessions live Q&A for, what is today? It's the 29th, August 29th, 2017. Hey everybody, let's see who's in the chat already. There's already a few. Stuntard, Seamot, Kur, Hussein, Upright. All right, well, welcome. Happy to see people in here already. Let's get into it. I'm just gonna talk about a few things, see how you guys have been doing, and yeah, here we go. So I guess first off, holy crap, what a day. We are sitting, let me fade into my browser here so we can see what the chart looks like today. Oh my god. I mean, this is the weekly, so maybe I should get into the... There we go. That's what today looked like. And I was, in the morning during that giant spike, I was sitting here watching it happen, and I was pretty damn excited. Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere, but you can see the big volume bar here right in the middle of the screen. It looks like, let's see, this is on Bitstamp, and we had, how much volume? 2,848 Bitcoin traded in this 1 hour period here. So, yeah, that, whoever was doing that, went and bought a lot of Bitcoin. So it was going crazy this morning, and then it's just kind of skirted along sideways for the rest of the day, but we're holding steady in the low 4600s, which is, we are at all-time highs right now. So our all-time high this morning on Bitstamp was $4,649.80. And that is an astronomical number. Like, I look at that and it's gone to the point where your eyes just kind of glaze over and you just think, wow, that's a big number. Because it was just last year around this time we were sitting, what, $500-600? I don't even know. Let's see. Can I look back? Let's see. Yeah, last August, we were sitting, maybe I can even find like right around this date. Yeah, August 28th, our close, August 28th last year, the closing Bitcoin price right around this time was $603. Let that sink in for a minute. $603. It's a year later and we're sitting at $4,607. We've added more than $4,000 to the Bitcoin price in a single year. That's unfreaking believable. Wow. So yeah, one hell of a day. If you're a hodler, then congrats to you. I'm happy to see you make some gains today. And keep holding, because, I mean, holy hell, it's August. Normally August is quiet, and this has been nothing short of crazy. So, yeah, awesome. Let's take a peek in the chat here and see who's here. Yes, I see people commenting on my hair already. Yeah, I did that yesterday on a whim. Thanks. Wait, are you commenting me? Let's see. Dope hairdo. There's a couple comments on it. Okay. Peter Murphy. Hey, how's it going? In the chat, he is asking, have I split my Bitcoin Cash on my Keep Key? The answer is yes, but not using their method because I got impatient and I found a way around it. But anybody that is holding a Keep Key and holding Bitcoin on it and Bitcoin Cash on it, yes, they have now implemented a way to access your Bitcoin Cash from your Keep Key, I think using their beta wallet. I haven't done it myself. I don't know if I'm going to do a video regarding that. I'm kind of tired of Bitcoin Cash, to tell you the truth. But I know I still am going to do that video on Exodus just so people know how to import some private keys and sweep them of their Bitcoin Cash. And then I'm going to show, I've talked about it before and it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll do a short video on Coinami sweeping a paper wallet. So I'll get to that It's been a crazy busy week. I'm now working my 2 jobs. I'm working at BitNational, and I'm still working at the company where I am teaching little kids how to breakdance, or rather now hiring other people to teach little kids how to breakdance. So I've been super busy with that, not to mention, yes, the baby and everything that comes with that. So it's been a little busy, but I will get to that. So let's see what else is going on. Okay, somebody's saying join Crypto Aquarium. I am in the Crypto Aquarium. I just don't use Telegram very much. So maybe I'll pop on there afterwards and say a quick hi. But I run out of time, and I just can't like sit in chat rooms for super long because I'm between one job then the other, then the family, then this. And that keeps me pretty busy alone. So, yeah, let's see. Somebody said, what the fuck is this Bitcoin gold? I haven't had time to look into that, but from the details that I did here are, it's kind of like an airdrop. So essentially, if you're holding Bitcoin, then you get a relative amount of whatever this Bitcoin gold thing is, which I haven't fully looked into it yet. But it's like a friendly fork of Bitcoin. So it's not competitive with miners or anything like that. It's just more, if you hold Bitcoin, then you're also going to be holding whatever the hell this thing is, and you can access it by, I guess, signing a transaction or something along those lines. But proving that you hold certain keys, and that gives you access to it. So it's the most friendly fork of Bitcoin that you can imagine, just in the sense that it incentivizes people to use this Bitcoin gold, whatever the hell it is, or Bit Gold or something, B Gold, whatever it is, it incentivizes you to use it because you just already have some. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this in the future. I think people are figuring out that, okay, we've got a crap load of people using Bitcoin right now. Why not incentivize them to use this new coin? Because we'll kind of do an airdrop and then mine from there. So probably see more of this in the future. And I think Bitcoin Cash was the first, even though it didn't mean to be, it was the first major instance of this, and people looked and went, oh, so all you need to do to get people to use your coin is just have them automatically have it and then mine from there. So yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I think Adam Meister did a live show on it today, and he talked a lot about it. So if you get the chance, go over to Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. He talked about it. I'm going to be watching that after this live stream to fill myself in, because I don't know what that is yet. I just got home. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yes, please do the Exodus tutorial. Yes, I will, Diane. Absolutely. The new Eden wallet from Exodus has Bcash, or Bitcoin Cash. Yes, so I've heard that there is a new Eden wallet from Exodus. I am excited to try that. Exodus has been freaking awesome. I love the Exodus wallet. The only thing that makes me sad is it's not on mobile yet, and I would love for that to happen. So guys, if you're watching, yeah, do it. Okay, let's see. I don't know how to say your name, but H-A-N-Y, Haney, I don't know. Do you think 2x will happen, and how will it affect the price of Bitcoin? Do I think it will happen? Probably, but I don't think it will pan out how people pushing for 2x are hoping. I don't think there's nearly as much support for it as there would have been had Bitcoin Cash not happened. That being said, this is just my opinion. I can be wrong. But I think that Bitcoin Cash pulled a lot of people that were pushing for big blocks into that ecosystem. And I think it also scared off some other people when it comes to splits, because they see the dynamic between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, and the problems with mining that it's causing both ecosystems. And I think some people are probably a little bit more hesitant to it. And we're having some companies like Bitwala, CoinKite, and actually a lot of Canadian companies. So the majority of companies that I deal with here in Canada have said we're just not following 2x. So that should be interesting, because if that happens, then essentially, you know, my country will be following Bitcoin Core, which is like the majority of an entire country. I guess we'll see what other places decide to do, but it's very business dependent, and we have to remember that a lot of people using Bitcoin don't even know this is going on. They just use, you know, their Coinbase account, and they don't know what the hell is happening, and they'll be very confused if their business that they're using goes along with a certain fork, and all of a sudden that fork is worth way less than what ends up to be consensus. So that's dangerous, and I would hope that we could avoid a fork, or maybe postpone the idea of having a 2 megabyte hard fork, so that we get some core developers to go, okay, well, there's been enough research and testing that this is okay if it warrants it. But I mean, just shoving it through in November, that's going to cause plenty of contention, and that's just kind of the way it is. So I guess we will see. Joe Marshall says, do you talk Litecoin here? Sure, why not? I love Litecoin. I was super happy to see. Actually, let's fade into coincap.io. Let's take a look at Litecoin. It is sitting at 63.39. And, you know, it's not much up much on the day, but it busted through some major resistance there earlier in the past week. And now it's $3.3 billion market cap. That's awesome. I really like Litecoin. I really like Charlie Lee, the I guess creator of Litecoin, and I think it's a great project. Something related to Litecoin that I found very funny, funny, amusing, interesting. If anybody's familiar with a guy named Ryan X Charles, I believe is his name. Anyways, he runs he's putting together something called Yours, and it is currently working, but it's basically, the idea was decentralized social media, but what it currently is with its implementation right now is it's basically like Medium with a paywall. So you go to a blog or whatever, and you pay to read the entire thing. And originally it was on Bitcoin, but then Bitcoin fees got to be a lot, and that's fair. You know, they are a lot right now. You can't be paying for an article if your fees to send a 10-cent transaction or a $1 transaction are a few dollars at least. So yes, it makes sense that he was frustrated with that. But then he moved to Litecoin, which probably at the time, pretty good move, right? I still think it's probably a solid move for the time being, because let's see, Litecoin transactions are much cheaper to do. They have shorter block time, so 2.5 minutes blocks, so transactions are happening more often, more frequently. Plus, they already have SegWit, and they can start playing around with Lightning, which, I mean, Bitcoin is starting to do now, but, you know, they got it earlier, so that would have been a great move. And so they were on Litecoin for a while. Then, just recently, Ryan X Charles announced that Yours network was pivoting to use Bitcoin Cash. Well, look at the state of Bitcoin Cash right now. Sure, you'll have periods of 1 minute blocks, boom, 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 boom. Then you'll have periods of no blocks whatsoever for hours at a time. And that can be very, very frustrating. In fact, that was his quote, frustrating, when he was asked about the slowdowns on Bitcoin Cash and the extreme speedups. And I don't know why he pivoted. Like, he already had a solution where the fees were much lower, where you could get more transactions per second, and that worked with everything. It was basically Bitcoin, but faster for his purposes as it was. Already had SegWit and was already working towards things like Lightning. Why would you pivot away from that? I don't understand it. It seems on its head to be a purely political move, but in doing that, yours network seems to be experiencing way more trouble than it would have had it just stayed with Litecoin. So yeah, I don't know. Having Litecoin there makes me feel like Bitcoin Cash is a little bit redundant, because if you want cheaper transaction fees and things to be quicker, use Litecoin. Like it's great, and both have SegWit, so pretty soon you're going to have these cross-chain atomic swaps where you can send Litecoin, receive Bitcoin, you can send Bitcoin, receive Litecoin seamlessly without a middleman, and you don't have to worry about any of that other stuff. So I don't know, it just seemed very counterintuitive to me. Anyways, yeah, I love Litecoin. Okay, let's see here. BTC sessions, dat hair, Franco. Is that Franco from Venezuela that was on last time? I think it is. Anyways, Franco, good to see you. Oh, Brian asked me, where did I get my shirt? Good question, Brian. I love this shirt. So there is a site called, I'm going to pull it up so you guys can see. This person has great stuff. Give me a moment. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. So, if it'll load, come on. There we go. Okay, here it comes. So this is a website called cryptograffiti.com. And this guy, he makes shirts, and you can print out fine art and all that kind of stuff. And there's all these awesome designs that he does. And yeah, like, it's just, he's got a lot of stuff. So I went in here and I don't know, I thought some of the shirt designs were awesome. So yeah, I like this one. I think I'm going to get this one. It is nowhere near too late to get into cryptocurrency. But he's got a lot of like fun shirts on here. I prefer my allowance in crypto. Buy the fucking dip. We are all Satoshi except Craig Wright, which I was wearing earlier this week. And then some of the symbols are of major cryptos. No backsies for Ethereum Classic. There's mine. Yeah, so anyways, I love the stuff that he's got on here. I just think it's a great site. So cryptograffiti.com. Actually, I was just talking with him today because I want to get that cartoon picture of me, the one in this corner. I want to get that cartoon picture put on a shirt. But artistic integrity being what it is, he opted to make sure that he keeps his site as just his artwork, but he did point me in the right direction. He also said, thank you very much for buying shirts from him, and said that if I wanted to point anybody in the direction of his site, that you could get, I think you get a deal if you use the promo code SESSIONS, SESSIONS. I'm not sure if that's with a capital S, but try both and see what happens. Anyways, I think you'll get a deal from that. So anyways, check it out. I love his stuff. Yeah, I love wearing this because I get crypto people that just find it funny, but then I also get regular people coming up to me. Not only have they heard the word Bitcoin and think it's interesting, now they realize, oh, I don't have to buy a whole one. And then they ask me questions like on the street, which is awesome because I love talking to new people about it. So anyways, let's move on. Let's get through this chat here. Okay. Yes, shout out to Coin Guy Bry. Do I need, Ice Medic says, do I need to split my Bitcoin into Bitcoin Cash or any other forks in the future, or can I leave them? Thank you. You can leave them as long as you keep those private keys. So as of August 1st, when there was a split, if you had one Bitcoin, you now have one Bitcoin and one Bitcoin Cash. Great. If you don't plan on using them or moving them around, just leave them where they are. The same private key that accesses your Bitcoin also accesses your Bitcoin Cash. If you move your Bitcoin around, your Bitcoin Cash is still there until you purposely go and move it. using a Bitcoin Cash client, some sort of a wallet that will allow you to do that. Just make sure that you don't toss out those private keys. Like if you move all your Bitcoin out of that wallet and then you delete the app, well, you just deleted your private keys for your Bitcoin Cash. So don't do that. Yeah, you don't need to do anything special, especially if you don't want to do anything with it. If you just want to leave it there, leave it there. If you want to access it, trade it, sell it, all that stuff, you can do that through a variety of methods. I did a video on how to do that via the Ledger Nano S and the Trezor. I'm going to do one through Exodus wallet on your desktop, which you just need a 12-word seed. And I'm going to show you how to do it with the Coinami wallet as soon as I have time. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to skip down because there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat and I feel like I'm missing and getting behind. Okay. BTC sessions. Man, you need to talk with Digital Gold to live stream on different days or something. I messaged him earlier and asked him if he was streaming. I wonder if he messaged me back. Maybe. No, he's alive too. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe we'll do a combined show soon. He did invite me for a live stream randomly the other day, but it was like 2 minutes before and I was out. So anyways, hopefully we'll do that soon. Okay. Question, does it take some time for your Bitcoin Cash to show up in your Keep Key balance? It shouldn't. It should be there right away. You should see a balance. So I don't know if anything has happened there. Hopefully not, or I don't know, play around with the refresh button, but it should be there. If there was Bitcoin there on August 1st, there should be Bitcoin Cash already there. The other solution is if it's not working on Keep Key, I mean, it's beta, so maybe try taking that 12-word seed and putting it into the Exodus wallet as a restore from backup and try that. Because that's how I did it before the Keep Key put out this way to access it. Let's see here. BTC Sessions from Lil4. What do you think of Coin and Ripple? Coin I do not know a lot about. It's starting to have been around long enough that I'm curious to read a little bit on it, but I don't know. I'm kind of a purist and I prefer to... I don't spend too much time on stuff that I just saw kind of pop in a top 10, top 20 like in the past couple months. Ripple, fundamentally, I don't like it. When you look at the number of units and the possibility of crazy inflation and the fact that Ripple can be tweeting, oh, we invited such and such to visit our offices. The fact that they have offices for entities to come visit should scare anybody interested in crypto, because that means it's subject to, oh, you're here? Okay, so we can coerce you into doing something if the laws change, or if we don't like it, or we can shut you down. I don't like if something is operated by a central entity. That's the anti-crypto. I know that it's more decentralized than the current fiat system, but I feel like Bitcoin was 10 steps forward and Ripple was 1 step forward. So, I mean, is it going to go up and down in value? Absolutely. We saw massive, crazy spikes in Ripple all through the past week. Crazy spikes and crazy dips. Speculators gonna speculate. So I don't know if you're feeling the risque kind of trading, then be my guest. For me, it's not gonna be. It would be one of the last ones that I put in my portfolio, but I would put it in my portfolio perhaps before some of these other up and coming altcoins that I know nothing about. Okay, let's see here. How much Coinbase in... Ivan says, how much Coinbase increase? Okay. Oh, okay. So he's asking, how much will Coinbase increase your limit when if you're Canadian and you send them your ID? I'm pretty sure I sent them my ID already, and my limits suck. Like, I'm talking like 250, I think, US dollars per week. It's not very much. So, I mean, I guess like for some people to throw 250 bucks into crypto every single week, that's, and even for me, I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, that is a lot of money. So I don't know. I don't think they bring up your balances very much, but I could be mistaken. It just depends on your level of verification, and I'm not sure how that applies to Canadians. I'm not a huge Coinbase fan. I don't know. They're based in the U.S., therefore they're subject to U.S. law and regulation, which means, well, $250 limits apparently. So yeah. Also, you can't withdraw through Coinbase. I mean, you can't withdraw cash. Like, let's say you wanted to sell your Bitcoin and you're Canadian. You can't do that on Coinbase. So you have to go through a Canadian exchange or go to a Bitcoin ATM or whatever. Okay, let's see. What are some altcoins that actually have a promising future technology other than Litecoin? This is from Spec. Looking at everything, I love Monero. Monero, I like, and I was I was thinking and saying this before the big run up, but I don't think the run up matters. Like, the reason I like Monero is because Fluffy Pony, the lead developer behind it, he is a quality guy, and he is focused on good code before being user friendly. He doesn't give a shit if you're like, oh, but I have to use a web wallet and put in my seed every time. That doesn't matter. He needs the base code to be strong before he starts worrying about a pretty wallet for your phone. I think that's a great attitude to have, because if it's not ready for prime time, then why make it look nice? So some of this run up is because I think it opened up in other markets and people were able to speculate. But I think in the long term, some of these anonymous coins, they have real use case. And even just the idea of it being a use case in the way that maybe we can use something like this on Bitcoin. But yeah, there's something to be said for the integrity of that project, the integrity of the person, the lead developer behind it. And I don't know, I really like Monero. I can't quantify it too much, but I think it's a solid project. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Free Skillshare Media says, you think 5,000 per Bitcoin is too high, or 50,000? Oh, no, I think he must be replying to somebody else, but I'll touch on it anyways. Do you think 5,000 is too high? What about 50? It's not. What about 100? I think that price can get away from itself really, really fast. And then inevitably we have corrections. But when I see 5,000 per coin, do I think that's too high right now? Not particularly. Do I think it could hit 5,000 and then drop in half? Yeah, absolutely, because it's Bitcoin. But do I also think that in a few years we could see $50,000, $100,000 Bitcoin? You're damn right, I think so. Like, just the beginning of this show, I went back to last year and it was $600 at this exact time last year. That's crazy. So to see 600 to 4,600 in 1 year, that's multiples. So for us to go from 4,600 and go multiples even over the course of like a few years, that is not out of the question. So, and if you were to look back in 2015, you're looking at like early 2015, $200, $300 Bitcoin. So you look at that and you're getting a 15 times return in 2 years. So even if we got like a 5-time return out of what we've got, we're talking like $25,000 Bitcoin. Like at 10 time, we're talking $50,000 and we're there. So do I think there can be corrections and drops because of these excessive bubbles? Yeah, I think that's the nature of Bitcoin. And some of the pullbacks, they can be lengthy, right? Like 2015, 2014, I guess. 2014 into 2015, that sucked. I bought in early 2014, and then I sat there and I watched it go down and down and down and down and down for all of 2014. And then 2015 hit, and the beginning of that year sucked. And then it sat there and did nothing for months and months and months. And then we were super stoked when it finally hit like $500 in October of 2015 because it was coming back. And it was right, it was coming back. But just have some perspective, have some humility, know that this thing is going to do this for a long time to come. I just think now we're in the realm where, okay, we're sitting at, you know, probably pretty soon 5K per coin. It's just going to be a different realm of volatility. Like we're going to see, instead of going from $1,000 down to $300 and then up to $2,000, we're going to see 5K down to 3, up to 10, down to 15. And every time it drops, people are going to say Bitcoin's dying. Well, that's just the way it is. I've been hearing that for 4 years. So I don't know, if I listen to those people, I wouldn't be doing very well for myself. Okay, let's see. Whatever. Oh my God, new high. Are we at a new high? No, we're not. Okay. You got me excited there. I need to get... Hold on, I'm looking at my chart. No, okay. I thought that while I was ranting there, we got a new all-time high. No, okay, we did not. But we are sitting at like 46.25 on Bitstamp, roughly. Yeah, crazy. Okay. Tom Jag says, nice reminder that I sold 10 Bitcoin at $280. Man, that sucks, but you probably, well, I would hope that you bought lower than that. So, I mean, if you realize any gains there, then good for you. You made a profit. So you can't be upset about that. There's always looking back saying woulda, shoulda, coulda, but if you made a profit, then at least you didn't take a loss. Okay, I'm scrolling down to the bottom of the chat again just to catch myself up. Okay. We are waiting for China. They can't break 30,000 Chinese yen. Chinese yuan. Let's see. I'm going to put half my Bitcoin to Litecoin soon because I think Bitcoin's going to dip. Well, maybe. I don't like to trade back and forth. My tactic, not always, but now has become accumulate and hold it. Like I'm putting in money that I don't immediately need, and I'm buying into this thing because I believe in the long-term potential, and I believe in where it could be in a decade or 2 decades. I'm not putting it in thinking, oh man, I hope that I triple or quadruple my money in a year. That's not my play. I'm looking at a technology, I'm reading on it, I believe in what it stands for. I believe in the approach that Bitcoin is taking right now, and if I see value in other coins, I've written a rule for myself where I don't liquidate my Bitcoin to put into other coins, but rather I keep those holdings, and then just like for Bitcoin, I gradually scale into whatever else I want to buy. I'm not going to sell stuff to buy something else and then regret selling something because I picked the wrong time. No, I'd rather just, okay, well, I have enough of coin, Bitcoin, and then maybe I want Litecoin, maybe I want Monero, maybe I want Ethereum or Ethereum Classic or whatever the hell it may be. If I want those, then I'd rather gradually accumulate, because like with the crypto space, if you believe in something and you think it's going to have value, then if in the long term, and you're not just trying to ride the ups and downs of the day, then it shouldn't matter when you get in. You're just gradually scaling in and you're holding for an extended period of time. And that takes a lot of the worry and hard day-to-day heart attack out of it. So, yeah. Okay. Heath B asked my thoughts on Ripple for a long-term hold. I did talk about Ripple a little bit earlier on. I worry about inflation, central control, and there's no reason why they wouldn't just print more if necessary. It's a back end for the banks to make quick cross-border transactions and save money. They don't care what the value of the coin is. Now, granted, they probably don't want to tank the price, but, I mean, do they care? I don't know. Probably not. Anyways, let's see here. Franco asks, any way to buy a ledger with Bitcoin? I think they allow you to buy it with Bitcoin on their website. Go to Ledger. There's a link in the video down below. If you don't want to use my affiliate link, that's fine. If you do want to use it, that helps out the show. But anyways, just go to the Ledger website, Google it, and yeah, I'm nearly positive I paid for my Ledger with Bitcoin. Actually, I am positive. Yeah, you can pay with Bitcoin. Just don't buy it on like Amazon, because then no, you can't pay for it with Bitcoin. So yeah, support the ecosystem. I like that. People laughing about Bitcoin crash, like Bcash. Okay, Billy Rose is dumping his Ripple. I hope that's just not on my part. I mean, make your own informed decision. Hopefully, Brian says someday you will never have to sell Bitcoin because everywhere will just accept it. That's great. Thanks, Brian. I like your input. Okay. OMG just broke $10. I was looking at that, actually. Somebody was telling me about it. I was looking at the chart. Yeah, I need to know more about it. I think it's still super volatile. It's out of my risk tolerance, but could be a promising project. Okay, Stephen Brown says, what's your current favorite software wallet? Same for hardware wallet. Software wallet, this one's going to bother me because they just did something that pissed me off. I'm going to bring this up. Okay, so my favorite software wallet via my phone is Mycelium. Okay, so if you don't know what that one is, it is spelled M-Y-C-E-L-I-U-M. And I should specify that I really like Mycelium on Android. It's okay on Apple or on iPhone, but Android is where it's at. That being said, this pissed me off the other day. So this is a post on our Bitcoin. Somebody saying, excuse me, but what the fuck is this RMC thing being pushed by Mycelium? So what they did is in the wallet itself, just the other day, they added this thing where you can buy and sell something called RMC. And I was like, what the hell is RMC? Turns out it's some like ICO shitcoin thing called Russian miner coin. And it's just like, it's clearly some sort of a deal that they had and they're getting kickbacks from it. But I was just, guys, you have such a good wallet and this shit is beyond you. You don't need to be pumping some crap ICO. And it could be good, but like, to put, like, I don't know anything about RMC. I know that it's some sort of an ICO thing, but I mean, the fact that this is in there and yet there's no Litecoin, there's no Ethereum Classic, Ripple, like all the top 10, none of that's in there. So any of the ones that, you know, might be considered mainstays and like maybe some of the first options you'd implement as altcoins available on Mycelium, and they've got this RMC thing, like, guys, I understand that you have to make money, but okay, couple things. One, if you want to make money, you can now implement Shapeshift within your wallet. Yeah, it's going to take some coding to allow yourself to handle multiple coins, but you can put Shapeshift in, and then you get a share of the revenues for the transactions when people shift between currencies. So do that. There's a revenue model for you. Or two, just charge for the fucking app. I'd rather pay you $1, $2, $5 if the app works amazingly, if I don't have to be looking at this ICO shit, because now I feel like, do I trust Mycelium? I mean, I'm using it right now, and part of the reason I'm using it is because I can use my hardware wallets with it on my phone. A disclaimer, again, only Android, not iOS. But I can use my hardware wallets with Mycelium on my phone. So that's why I'm using it. So I feel secure in that, because, I mean, let's say it got all scammy and something happened with Mycelium, it wasn't working or whatever, and anyways, my private keys are on my devices, not on my phone, so I have solace there. But it's just, it irks me when I see stuff like this, and you guys don't need to do that. You're a good enough wallet. You have other ways of making revenue, so come on, guys. Anyways, yeah, okay, so moving on. I'm still gonna say that's my favorite software wallet, even though that bothers the hell out of me. I still really like Mycelium because it works. It does everything I need it to do, and that's all I can ask for, other than not putting in ICOs. Hardware wallet. I have two. I talk about them all the time because people are always asking me. The runner-up, we'll say, is the Trezor. I really like that one. If you want a Trezor, then I have an affiliate link in the description down below. If you get it through that, it helps the show, but you don't have to. If you want to tell me to F off, then you can just go to the Trezor website. That's cool too. Other one, favorite, Ledger Nano S. I really love this hardware wallet. Looks like, mine's dirty. It just looks and feels nice. Mine's a little scuffed up, but it's can you see it? Maybe. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see that it says Ledger. Anyways, I like it. It's just, it swings open like this. It's got the little screen. It's got the two buttons on the top, so you can control it, and the little port on the front there. Yeah, works great. You can carry it around easy. Does the trick. The user interface across everything other than like ERC20 tokens, and like the tokens built on top of Ethereum. Other than those, everything else, including Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, the user interface looks pretty much the same as the Bitcoin interface. Also, it works with Mycelium. Yeah, I love this one. There is an affiliate link down below for that too. You can use that. If you don't like me, don't use it. Just go to the Ledger website. That's cool too. Okay. Anyways, all right. Let's see. What's the deal with the Mycelium website? Looks like a bunch of crazy products. Actually, Brian, I was looking at the Mycelium website like this past week and everything. If they do what they say they're going to do, it will be incredible. But I want to see it first. So they're talking about incorporating so that you can have multiple coins, you can track your assets, you can shift between, I think Shapeshift, you can shift between coins, you can integrate like your bank accounts and your bills and all of that. So it's like a one-stop shop, and their idea is, okay, they've already got a good crypto community. They'd like to add in everybody else so that they can manage all their finances and then also be exposed to crypto, which is great. I hope they don't stray too far from the crypto so that it's like in the background. I want them to keep it like super crypto and then like just add in like, oh, I can add my bank account if that's a thing. So yeah, I'd love to see that. Let's see. What's your opinion on Jack's wallet? Oh, it looks really nice and it doesn't fucking work. people have had different experiences. Some people have had positive ones, but I've heard a lot of negative ones as well. And I am one of those people that have had many negative experiences with Jacks. Have I ever lost money with Jacks? No. Have I ever had money stuck for extended periods of time? You betcha. And I'm not positive whether to blame this on entirely on Jacks or partially on the Shapeshift integration. But I've had problems shifting between currencies and having it not work and not show up. And when I do contact customer support, they get it sorted, or they just say wait and it does sort itself out. But the other issue is with the balances in the wallets. It changes all the time. Like, I'm talking like, so a while back when I was dabbling in Dash, I think when it was like $5 or $6, I had a shit ton of Dash on one of my wallets, and then I sold it because, you know, I don't know, I'm not a huge Dash person, but I sold it, okay, made a bit of a profit, and moved back into Bitcoin. Anyway, so I open up my Jack's wallet like a couple months ago when it was, you know, a couple $100, and I look and it's like, oh, you have like 30 Dash worth $200 and something each, and I was like, oh my god, really? No, I did not really. It was just incorrect balances being pulled from the past for God knows what reason, and then it would disappear. I tried to send it out. I was like, oh cool, maybe I'll shift it back into my mystery Dash back into Bitcoin, and then it wouldn't show up, and then I'd get a weird Bitcoin balance from some transactions before. Basically just totally inconsistent. And then I would have it on my desktop too with the same seed to see if I could just like, that way I didn't have to switch back and forth or anything. I could just be on my computer, use that wallet, be on my phone, use that wallet, and it was the same. Yeah, well, it wasn't the same because the balances on them were different. Even though it was the exact same seed, it just wasn't consistent. So I don't know what the hell is going on, but I don't use Jacks anymore, and I turn people away from it. Like when I'm working at, say, BitNational, and somebody comes in and says, what's a good wallet to have all my cryptos in? I say, don't use Jacks because it doesn't work. So yeah, Exodus on desktop. I can't wait for them to eventually do a mobile wallet because Exodus kicks ass. The thing is, they're not going to do a mobile wallet right away because they're focusing on quality. And I'm okay with that because when they eventually do put out a wallet for mobile, it's going to be so good and it's going to work so well that it will have been worth the wait. So guys at Exodus, take your time, do what you need to do because what you're doing right now is awesome and I really, really enjoy it. Okay. Let's see. You have to click the refresh button on Jacks because it holds previous amount until it's updated and confirmed. Yeah, I've done that. It doesn't work. It's just a nightmare. So yeah. Let's see. Hold big bags on cold storage like Ledger, Trezor. All software wallets are only good for small amounts. You are the bank. Take security seriously or literally pay the price. This person, I don't know how to say this, Zaza. Anyways, that is great advice. Absolutely. If you would be uncomfortable walking down the street with the same amount of cash, you shouldn't have it sitting in your phone. You should have it on a hardware device that is secured. Fantastic advice. Okay. If a nation does wide-scale mining, what will happen if they get a 50.00001% attack? Can they take your coin? So the question is, if like a large nation decides to become a miner and becomes like a 50%, 51% attacker, can they steal your coin? Well, I mean, you can look at it this way. Let's say there's X amount of computing power and hash rate on the Bitcoin network, and then all of Russia takes all of their computing power and somehow doubles the computing power in the Bitcoin network and gets over that 51% threshold and then forks off and steals everyone's coins. Is anybody going to follow their fork of Bitcoin where all their coins are stolen? Probably not. Like, why would you do that? Just stick with the chain that doesn't have all your shit stolen. You'll be fine. So, yeah, I think at this point it would be difficult to pull something like that off. Yeah, I don't know. And you would notice that happening probably. But anyways, yeah. Okay, I want to take a look at a couple of things. Actually, let's take a quick look just at coincap.io and just see what's up. So Bitcoin's sitting around just over 4,600 US, $76 billion market cap, which is awesome. Ethereum's been on a pretty decent run. It's up in the high 300s. I think that's near an all-time high, right? Because wasn't it just for... It was a bit over 400. Well, it had a high spike up to like 4 something here. So, but it's... I could see Ethereum breaking all-time highs pretty quick here. It is, you know, as many problems as Ethereum has, it also has a lot of promise, and I don't think that the entire crypto ecosystem is even close to hitting a ceiling. So I see lots happening here. Look at Bitcoin Cash. Okay, hold on. Maybe that's not the best representation here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, keep in mind that this is only showing, like, the bottom here is 549 or something. So anyways, it's not been having a good week. In general, it's just been on a downward slope. And here's the deal with what's going on. So Bitcoin Cash has something called an emergency difficulty adjustment. And what it is if it becomes super difficult to mine, like let's say nobody's mining it, and you have 6 or less blocks in a 12-hour period. I think that's the emergency difficulty adjustment. If that happens, difficulty drops by 20%. And this continues to happen until you get more than 6 blocks in a 12-hour period. Okay, so at that point, at some point there, it becomes more profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash than it does to mine Bitcoin. And since it's the same mining algorithm, all of the miners, or not all of them, but a large portion of miners, switch their hash rate over to Bitcoin Cash and start mining that. It looks like they're mining it and then selling it and either going back into Bitcoin or just taking their regular fiat to pay off their bills, right? But they are mining it, okay? So then what happens? They all switch over. There's a sudden influx of hash rate, and you have blocks, boom, 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 like every minute, okay? Now, here's the problem. As soon as you get all this hash rate mining and taking in all these $500 and something coins because it's just like payday, you blast through the 2016 block retargeting period, which means after 2016 blocks, the difficulty gets retargeted to make it so that blocks happen every 10 minutes. Well, if they're happening every minute, well, the difficulty is going to go up like crazy. I think there's a limit to how much it goes up. I could be mistaken. Anyways, then you see it become like 4 times more profitable to mine regular Bitcoin. Okay, so this keeps happening. It goes back and forth. People jump off of Bitcoin Cash when it becomes super unprofitable. Then this emergency difficulty adjustment happens again, and it goes back and forth. But the problem is, when you get these flurries of blocks every minute, you're getting hyperinflation. In fact, right now, Bitcoin inflation, the frequency with which new Bitcoin is created, is at around 4%, or it would have been. I'll explain that in a second. The inflation rate on Bitcoin Cash right now is somewhere between 13 and 15%. And the more that this happens and the more that the price drops because miners mine it and then sell it, well, that means that the difficulty has to drop even more to make it profitable for miners to mine it. So miners are going to stay off of Bitcoin Cash until the difficulty drops low enough to justify a price of what is now $524. Okay, so the miners are waiting on Bitcoin, mining Bitcoin. Well, okay, now the difficulty drops enough. They all jump back over to Bitcoin Cash. Boom, 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 block, 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 block. Difficulty adjustment. Now it's super difficult to mine. Back to Bitcoin. Well, you just inflated the currency so much in that short period of time. Then you sold all of it, so you drove down the price further. Now you're back on Bitcoin sitting there waiting for the difficulty to drop enough again to justify the new lower price. And when that happens, back to Bitcoin Cash. Mine, 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 sell, 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 out. So it's created this negative feedback loop that is slowly driving the price down. Now, pumpers that want to use Bitcoin Cash, yes, they are still keeping the price somewhat afloat, but this is compounding over time. And I think what we're going to probably see is some sort of a hard fork to change this mining algorithm or whatever the hell they need to do to stop this EDA from screwing up the economics. Because if they don't, I think it could be a huge problem. Anyways, let's go on beyond there. Okay, let's see. Tom Jack says, okay, hold on, wait. Marcos, what do you think of the recent BitPay scandal? Maybe somebody can fill me in on what this recent BitPay scandal was. Are you talking about where they came out and said that they're going with 2x? Was that the scandal? What do I think about that? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Where they said that they're going, that essentially you need to upgrade in order to enable SegWit, but then they were pushing people to BTC1, which is actually going to become the 2x hard fork, and they neglected to mention that. Yeah, I think that's shady. I don't think that's very honest at all. At the very least, they should have said, if you use this software, there is a change coming to Bitcoin in November that some people disagree with and we want to move forward with. They should have at least said that there was an issue there, but they just glossed it over like, yeah, this is just an upgrade, without at all mentioning to people that it might cause issues, and that's not good. All right. Elamar? I don't know. Any ATMs coming to Quebec? That's a good question. I don't know if there's any Bitcoin ATMs coming to Quebec. Go to coinatmradar.com and that'll check if there's any in your area. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm in Western Canada, so I know what's going on out here. Eastern Canada, don't know yet. Might have more information later. Okay. Elamar also asked, where do we sell Ether? You can sell it on quadrigacx.com, so that's a Canadian exchange. Also, it depends, like, are you selling it for cash or like fiat currency? Then yeah, Quadriga. If you're just selling it for Bitcoin, there's a ton of exchanges you can do that through. You could do it through Shapeshift. That'll be on the more expensive side for online solutions. You could go to like Poloniex or Bittrex or Kraken or really anywhere that has multiple coins. So yeah, take a look. I would say like Bittrex or Poloniex are good for like a quick, just give them an email and a holy shit. Henry Law? Oh, Hong Kong dollars. I got so confused there. Hong Kong dollars. Thanks, Henry. Wait. Is this Henry? I feel I knew a Henry in from Hong Kong. I thought it was somebody that I knew, but maybe not. Henry, thank you very much. That's super kind of you. Holy crap. Yeah, Henry just dropped 90 Hong Kong dollars. I don't even know what that is in Canadian dollars. I'm going to do a quick conversion here. I can't quite recall. That is That's like a $15 tip in Canadian dollars. Thank you, Henry. You're super kind. He also says, he says your channel is excellent. Also, Dogecoin is greater than Bcash. That's awesome. Henry, thank you very much. You rock. Thanks for supporting the channel. All of these funds that go into like super chats like this that Henry dropped, or like if you use an affiliate link, I funnel this back into finding new ways to make the show better. What I'm working on right now is getting a better camera. Like I have just kind of a webcam right now. It's detached from, it's not my laptop, but I still feel like it could be better. What I'm hoping to figure out, and I'm still trying to learn, is I need to get some sort of a what's it called? Like a capture card, and I need to be able to shoot live with like a DSLR camera. Now I do have a DSLR. I have like a Canon T5i, but I need to learn how to stream with that, and I need to get on getting like a capture card. I had one that didn't work very well. Trying to figure it out, but anyways, that's the next step, and then you'll get a better, like I don't know, like this thing refocuses. It's kind of all over the place, so come up with a better solution soon. Okay, let's see. All right, so yeah, Henry, I've never met you in person. Yeah, I was in Hong Kong, Henry, last year, actually around this time, like a few weeks back, and I was getting on the ferry from Hong Kong to Macau, and there was a guy that was named Henry, and he was actually from the States. But he lived in Hong Kong now, and he just happened to hear me and my wife talking and just struck up a conversation, asked where we were from, and then he took us out later that night. He said, "Yeah, come to dinner with me," and we went out and we went for dinner in this amazing view, like overlooking all of the harbor, and we saw the laser light show and everything. It was unreal. Anyways, I know that you're not that Henry, but thanks for bringing back that fond memory, and thank you very much for the tip. It's much appreciated. Call Me Miner says, at what amount of money invested would you personally buy a hardware wallet? So you have to ask yourself, at what amount of money is buying something for $100 or $200 worth saving a higher amount of money? So like if you only have $200, are you going to go buy a $100 or $200 hardware wallet to secure it? Well, probably not. If you have $1,000, are you going to do that? Maybe. If you have a few $1,000s, probably. If you have tens of thousands of dollars, get a damn hardware wallet. But yeah, it's your level of comfort. If you don't feel secure carrying $600 around on your phone, and that's how much you have, then get a hardware wallet. Absolutely. Or look into paper wallets. Those are free to make, but you have to be careful to do it in a secure way. I made a video on hardware or on paper wallets way back when. One thing that I keep on kicking myself for not mentioning when I made that is the most secure way to make a paper wallet is to create it on a device that will not, again, touch the internet. So like, let's say you have an old laptop that you're not going to use anymore. Just disconnect it from the internet. Don't use it again. But you can save bitaddress.org as like an HTML file on a thumb drive, and then pull it onto the old laptop, and then it'll generate a paper wallet, and then just print it out from there, or save it to like an encrypted thumb drive or something. There's lots of ways to do it, but the safest way is to create it on a device that won't again touch the internet, and then just make sure that that device is how you access it. When you go to sweep it, yeah, obviously you're going to be using something that is connected to the internet, but you'd be sweeping it into another wallet that you trust. So yeah, I'll leave it from there. Hello from Edmonton. Edmonton is 3 hours north of Calgary, so we're kind of like rival cities. Our hockey teams hate each other. But thanks for the shout out from Edmonton. I appreciate it. Anything against paper wallets? No, I think they're good. It's a good way to get started with cold storage. And then go from there. Like if you get comfortable with paper wallets, awesome, but try hardware wallets too. Not just for the convenience, but I think it's also a little bit more secure almost. So yeah, try both. Question, what proportion of your portfolio is in crypto? Do I want to answer that? I don't know. I mean... I don't think I'm going to answer that question. That's a tough call. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so here's the dynamic with myself and my wife. I'm the one that's doing the crazy crypto investing, and she's the one that's doing the traditional safe investing, like mutual funds and well, I'm trying to get her to not do mutual funds anymore. I'm trying to get her to do just index funds, like low fee index funds. So hers will be the more traditional safe investments, and mine will be the more risky but potentially high return investments. And I think in the end, it balances each other out. So that's the position we've taken. That isn't that, so obviously you know that more of mine is in crypto than traditional, but that's not necessarily what you should do. You need to look at a lot of factors. One, well, how much money, like first of all, is it money you can afford to lose? Because it doesn't matter where you're putting that money, whether it be in crypto or whether it be in stocks or mutual funds. Can you afford to lose it? Because everything carries risk. Okay. Two, how old are you? Are you on the verge of retiring? Like, are you going to need this money next year? Then I would maybe not even touch crypto. If you do, it should be a very small percentage, because you're liable to go through a 2-year drought like we did from 2014 through 2015. So you've got to look at your time horizon. You've got to look at if it's money you can afford to lose. You've got to look at a lot of things. If you have more time, then you can take more risk is kind of what you should do. I've read a lot of books on investing, and then I've tried to apply some of those lessons in crypto. So the books that I really liked, and I know the guy's a cheeseball, but check out Tony Robbins. He wrote 2 books. One is called Money Master the Game, and that one is quite the read. It's like 600 and something pages, and it's like, there's a lot in there. The other one is called Unshakable, and that one's kind of more condensed version of Money Master the Game, but they're both worth taking a look at. Just to give you an idea of how traditional investing works and maybe apply some of those lessons. Also, another good book to look at, and again, everybody references this book, but I think it's good, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you're not a big reader, get an audiobook and just listen to it, because the lessons, it's all told through stories, which makes it easy and relatable, but the lessons in there about putting your money into assets instead of liabilities and things like that. Great lessons just to live by. So check out that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Money Master the Game, and Unshakable. Those are some good ones to start with. The other ones that I've been meaning to read that I want to read are Think and Grow Rich and The Intelligent Investor. And again, I'm trying to take these lessons and apply it to crypto, because crypto is, I feel, what I know. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay. Oh yeah, somebody else mentioned The Wealthy Barber. I've heard of that one. I want to read that too. I'm gonna mental note, Wealthy Barber. Okay. let's see. Oh, somebody works for a mutual fund company, M. Goldie. Okay, so you don't have to tell us which one, but how maybe you can disclose here. Like, how screwed are people getting on fees? Because here's the thing with mutual funds. From what I hear, the mutual fund companies will have a whole bunch of different funds going on in the background, right? So you'll have fund A, B, C, D through X, Y, and Z. And you'll run all those for a year, and then you'll cherry pick the very, very best one, the one that just knocked it out of the park and the rest all sucked. And then that's the one you market next year. The one that you said, look at the gains that we had in this fund. Well, yeah, but your other 25 sucked. And then so you get sold this one, and the chances of that one performing that well again the following year are essentially zero. So is that sounding familiar, M. Goldie, or am I kind of talking out of my ass here? Anyways, that's some of the stuff that comes up in that Money Master the Game and Unshakable and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. Oh, Robbins has an abridged audio version of Money Mastering. It's about 1/3 the time. Huh. M. Goldie says you're right about most. Okay, well, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's guys, those are good reads. If you're in crypto, I think you need to go into it with a level head and a good roundabout sense about investing. I'm seeing a lot of people, like especially working at Bin National and dealing with people that are investing. I'm seeing a lot of people they see money and they're just throwing it around wherever. They're just chasing the rabbit and they're losing money that way. I don't see a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but I can tell the difference when I see a level-headed investor going, this is the future and I want to put some capital in it, versus the people that are coming in going, oh my God, did you see how much it went up today? I'm going to buy a bunch. Well, I mean, long-term you might be okay, but if that's your only reason, then you've got some more research to do. Yes, chasing hype, absolutely. M. Gold says 20% mutual funds, 20% gold and silver, 60% crypto. That makes me smile because you got somebody who's working for a mutual fund company and he's 60% crypto. Guys, this is the change that we're going to be seeing in the coming years. I just got through saying I see a weird mix of not level-headed investor walking, but I am seeing more and more people walk through the door saying, oh yeah, I work in finance. That's awesome. That's a good sign. That's good. I mean, not to say that we can't get bubbles. We will continue to. But when I see people in finance starting to come over now, it makes me feel better about the way I felt 4 years ago when I saw this. And I thought, well, it's just a matter of time before people start to realize. And it makes me happy to see people like M. Goldie, that are working in the current financial system that are recognizing this and seeing the potential and seeing, I guess, the choice that is given here. And I'm super excited about that. I'm 30, so I have all the time in the world to go, for Bitcoin to go to the moon. That's true. I'm 32, and I've got a long time here. If you're in there and you're like 20 something, yeah, you're way ahead of the game. But be careful because you can easily get pulled into ICOs and things that may have a good return in some instances, but you will get burned if you dabble in that stuff too much. So be careful. All right. Okay. I brought up some stuff. Okay. I was talking about, sorry, I'm jumping back and forth here, but I was talking about something earlier on related to Bitcoin Cash and the cycle of the difficulty. I just pulled this up, so I wanted to bring it up. So this is my friend Dave. He runs a company called Bitcoin Brains, but he's a really smart guy. And so this is his explanation of the Bitcoin Cash, the difficulty retargeting. So he says, if the current cycle of difficulty oscillation continues, Bitcoin Cash could reach its next reward halving in around 200 days. This number should decrease if the price of Bitcoin Cash falls relative to Bitcoin. The reverse should also be true. As a result, the current rate of inflation on Bitcoin Cash is around 13 to 16% compared to around 4% on Bitcoin. Miners currently need to drop Bitcoin Cash difficulty to around 15 to 20% of the Bitcoin difficulty in order to make it more profitable than the legacy chain. After the Bitcoin Cash halving, miners will need to drop the difficulty to an even lower number to reach profitability versus Bitcoin. This means that the next halving will come even faster and the inflation rate will be even higher. Unless the price ratio or the fundamental properties of Bitcoin Cash change, this will create an ever worsening feedback loop. A year from now, Bitcoin Cash would have an average block time of around 20 seconds and an inflation rate over 120%. All of this assumes that it can maintain its current price ratio with 4 times the inflation and no real economic activity. That's mind-blowing. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but I thought that thread was really, really well thought out and in-depth, and it does make you think about how is this going to be solved. The devs for Bitcoin Cash, they've got their work cut out for them. Yeah, if you want to follow this guy, he's at Bitcoin Brains, and he's got a lot of great insight, and he shares some funny stuff too. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, let's talk about this really quick. SegWit's slow rollout, why Bitcoin's capacity hasn't seen a sudden boost. So there's a little bit of misunderstanding about how SegWit rollout happens and what it does as far as helping with fees and more transactions per second. Okay, so here's what it does do immediately. As soon as you start using a SegWit address on Bitcoin, you can expect roughly a 35% reduction in Bitcoin fees. And the reason for this is that SegWit transactions are calculated, the number of bytes that you're sending are calculated differently, and the signatures count for less. So essentially you're sending what would be counted as less information. Okay, so your fee ends up being much less. Okay, what it doesn't do immediately is it doesn't immediately allow for X number more transactions per second and all reduce fees across the network if you're not using a SegWit address. Those are the things that will take time to scale in. The more people that are using SegWit addresses, the more space there will be in the blocks for more transactions, and that in turn would lower fees because more people can get in more frequently, and there's not as much of a bidding war to get your transaction in first. So also, yeah, if you're sending on the legacy chain, then your fee is still calculated how it always was. So you're still going to see higher fees using the legacy chain regardless, even down the road when fees are dropped gradually because more and more people use SegWit, you'll still be paying more in fees using legacy than SegWit. Okay, so if you're doing a lot of transactions, then it's worth looking into who has implemented SegWit so that you can start utilizing cheaper fees. So I did a video on how to do this on the Ledger Nano S, and I posted that yesterday morning. You can do it on the beta of Trezor. I haven't done a video on that. I don't know if I'm going to do videos on this. I may just kind of like social media pump it up whenever there's a new wallet that allows for SegWit transactions. I don't know. I don't want to do a million episodes on every time there's a new way to use a wallet, but we'll see. Okay. All right. There were a couple other things. Sorry, I'm quickly. There's a couple things I wanted to bring up just because I thought they were funny. This is just funny because it's Coinbase. Customer complaints against Coinbase are on the rise. Well, I mean, maybe it's also check out those vests, guys. Ugh. Lose the vests. Okay. Anyways, regardless of the vests, I mean, yeah, this is bound to happen. I mean, this is crypto growing faster than the company can grow, so I can't fault them too much there. But it's also a symptom of being a U.S. company that is subject to U.S. law and regulation. And when Uncle Sam says you put a limit on this and people can't buy more, that's what you do. When Uncle Sam says you need this information from all of your customers, that's what you do. When Uncle Sam says shut that person's account down, that's what you have to do. So that's just Coinbase, unfortunately. Too bad, I guess. One other thing here. Russian regulator, Bitcoin should be limited to qualified investors. So this was something about how the regulators in Russia are saying, well, you know, we're going to ban it for regular people. Because we all know in Russia how everybody abides by the law perfectly, right? This is a non-event. It came out. Nobody cared. The price was not affected. It's you know, I think Russia's behind on banning Bitcoin. China did that shit in 2013. So I don't know. It's not going to affect anything, you know, like they can make it tougher for people in Russia, but people find a way around it. It doesn't matter. So I think at this point it's very difficult for regulators to ban something. And even by the time they do, like if they, let's say they got legislation pumped through like really, really fast, and for government that still takes a long time. I mean, people are going to have time to prep for that kind of thing. They're going to find ways around it. You're just forcing them to become more resilient and resourceful. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's get into the chat here. I'm maybe a question or two more, and then I gotta go, you guys. My wife is home, and the baby's home, and I kind of want to watch an episode of The Defenders. So I think I'm gonna do that. Quadriga is a little slow tonight, apparently. Yeah, Quad is. They're dealing with a lot. I think they've got a lot on their plate. Lots of interest in crypto. New all-time highs for Bitcoin. It's going to be a lot of people. Do you use Aram Bank, BitConnect, or Control Finance? What are your thoughts on these kinds of sites? BitConnect. I can't say for certain, but I can say not for certain. I don't know. Like, I feel like BitConnect is just a big scam. Like, they're guaranteeing returns. You're getting referral bonuses, and it's just, yeah. I don't know. And they've had all these outages lately, and usually that's when it's getting close. That's when the site is going down for days at a time, and people can't get to their money, and then it comes back up, and everything's all right, and I don't know, guys. I would stay the hell away from that or anything like it. If you want to know what I think of BitConnect, go back, look at my videos, find a video on something called Litecoin. I feel like I don't need to make another video about any of these things. If you watch Litecoin and you're listening to the promises that it had, and you go, hey, that kind of sounds like the thing I'm investing in, then get the fuck out. It will not end well for you. You have to be careful with this kind of stuff. If somebody is promising you a return, it's bullshit. If somebody is promising you anything when it comes to investing,
You can't promise anything. Like, that's not how investing works. An investment is a risk. It's just different investments carry different levels of risk. So if somebody's saying, put your money here and I will double it guaranteed in set amount of time, that person is lying. And if you get your money out after set amount of time and you did double it, well, guess what? Down the line, it's coming at the expense of somebody else, because at some point, somebody's left holding the empty bag of shitcoins. So be careful. Okay. Yeah. Somebody in the chat. I got burned by Hash Ocean. No more Cloud Morning or BTC schemes for me. Yeah, Ryan. It's tough because, especially when you first get into crypto, the returns are so insane. Especially if you hit it at the right point, and you see those numbers, and it doesn't seem real, and it doesn't seem like it should be possible. And then you start thinking, well, if this happened, then maybe this is legit as well. And that's where they get you, because anybody that's trying to scam you knows that there's value in something like Bitcoin, and they want to separate you from your Bitcoin. Notice that a lot of these scams aren't accepting something like Bitcoin Cash or some of the other alts. By and large, most of them are invest your Bitcoin and then we'll give you X amount of returns. Or some of them may be Ethereum, but by and large, Bitcoin and maybe some Ether. So it's don't let people separate you from your assets, because you may make it out alive once or twice, but eventually it will come to bite you if you keep on messing with that kind of stuff. And I was lucky, because when I got involved in that kind of shit, it was early on enough that I didn't have much money in it anyways. And I was thinking like, oh, I've been making some gains, maybe I'll try and put it in here and make some more back. And then I quickly realized, oh crap, I put in $100 and now I'm gonna get out 70 because it was a bad investment. Oh, I put some money in this, I'm not gonna see it back. But it was, a couple $100 here and there. So I was very lucky to have done that with not a lot of money and learned my lesson early. But for some people, it's just gonna be, that's how you learn the toughest lessons, is loss. So yeah, Brian, no free money, no such thing as free money. Absolutely. Oh, Franco, thank you. Franco bought a ledger on my affiliate link. So Franco, thank you so much. That does really help the channel. And I promise I'm going to take all of that. I'm going to funnel that into making this better. And hopefully maybe one day just pumping out as much content as possible, and maybe taking suggestions from you guys of what you'd like to see. So I do really appreciate it. Hey, Mike, I don't know how to say your name, Mike. Althoff. Yeah, and he did the same with Ghash. If you guys don't know Mike in the chat, he runs coincards.ca. And when there's a company that hired me to live on Bitcoin for a month, and I was racking my brain trying to figure out how I was going to get around certain roadblocks. And this was the end of 2014, so it was much harder then than it is now. And I was lucky enough to come across Mike's website, coincards.ca, and the H is silent. Althoff. There we go. Okay, so I was lucky enough to come across his site, and you could buy basically any type of gift card for Bitcoin. And so that's what I did for like gas cards and for groceries, because those were some of the things that I couldn't get around at the time. Yeah. So, anyways, Mike is awesome. He's been an asset to the Bitcoin community, and I'm always happy to see him here. And we're always chatting on Facebook and everything too. So yeah, Mike, glad to have you here. Yes, Brian, coincards.ca. I'm going to put it in here in big caps because I like Mike. coincards.ca. Go buy some shit. I like Mike. Okay. Guys, I got to wrap this up. Before I go,
a couple things. Number one, I'm going to flick to something. If you'd like to further help the show, this is a simple one. Go check out my Steemit account. So I recently had, basically YouTube is by default flagging and demonetizing my videos, and I'm having to submit them for review just to get them remonetized, but that takes out most of the views because I don't get tons and tons of views, and like most of them happen in the first day and I don't get reviewed for a couple days. So anyways, it sucks. I'm trying to mitigate the risk of being demonetized on a regular basis by posting on Steemit. Some of these posts have worked out really well, others have been mediocre. You know, like some of them are like 20 cents, others make like 18 bucks, which is awesome. So anyways, if you can, head over to steemit.com and you can find me. My handle is at benperrin117. That's BENPERRIN 117. Why is that my handle? Well, because I didn't know I was going to be using this for BTC sessions until I made it, and then it just kind of, I started going and I didn't want to start over from scratch. So that's me, and there I am. Lastly, I'll give one more plug to cryptograffiti.com. That's where I got this shirt. I love it. He said he was going to send me some free shirts, but I think he's doing something awesome. So I beat him to the punch and I just went and I bought shirts from him. Because he deserves it. He's making awesome stuff. Like, this is great. This is like a conversation starter for me. So I bought like 3 shirts from him the other day. I've bought stuff from him before. Cryptograffiti.com. Awesome place to get some Bitcoin swag. And I think he did say that I think you can get a percentage off if you use the code SESSIONS, SESSIONS. And lastly, again, if you guys can, if you want a hardware wallet, Trezor or Ledger Nano S, those are my 2 favorites. Trezor's the runner-up. Ledger Nano S is my favorite. You can just get them on your own, but if you want to help out the show, then you can use the affiliate links in the description down below on YouTube. Guys, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I'm gonna go watch some TV with my wife and enjoy the rest of my relaxing evening. She would have joined in tonight, but she was out at a friend's house with the baby. She just got in and she didn't want to intrude, but we'll probably do a joint one again later. Eduardo, I'm gonna follow you. Bitworkers on Steemit. Great. Thanks, guys. I will see you guys next time on the BTC sessions. Have a great night. Bye.